This video will show us a benefit of using a task manager in Tekla structure and how we can organize more and need more from our job actually and from our project management. First, we will open the task manager in Tekla structure and we will start adding the tasks. First of all, we will add the milestone task, which will be the start milestone. And we can edit it from the task information here. This will be a milestone, and its duration of course is 0 because it's a milestone. You will find that the notes of the milestone is added here, and we will start to add a subtask to the milestone, which is foundation pouring, foundation excavation, for example, excavation. And we can add some more information about this task information, which will not be a milestone. We can add first some information about how we will calculate this excavation. We will add a new way of excavation of the task excavation, and this will be through the units will be measured through the volume. And our rate will be for example, a 20 meter cubic per hour. Modify. Okay. So we will use the task of excavation with the excavation, and we will use this, for example, arc rigger. We can add a new contractor, for example, as an excavator. Okay. So we can use an excavator here. Once we add the task here, the task is empty, as you can see here. To fill the task, this task, we will add some of our foundations, for example. We need some volumes for the excavation. Once we add this, we can go to the task, add to the selected task, and we'll check. Once we add it, the task is already filled with something, and already according to the data that we have uploaded to the system, now it says that the planned duration is 0.85 days according to the volume that we have started or we uploaded on our tasks. It can be easily calculated because the system is already have got all the data about the volumes, about the part marks, and about everything. So we can add these another tasks, for example, footings, and so on. We can add this task to our selected task, and so on. This is an example, of course, of our management team to help our management team to calculate how much is the excavation will take. It's about 2.44 days. Now we can add another task, for example, for the foundation, which is another subtask from the start. And we can add the foundation pouring, which is the same foundation, which is the same rate here. Which will use the same sheet here, and we'll take the task information. This will be a foundation. For example, we'll take the concrete pouring, and we can just modify the concrete pouring here. Instead of 20 meter cubic, we can add, for example, a 200 meter cubic per hour. Modify, and this will be through end. And this also we can start the dependencies. This dependencies is dependent on the excavation. Finish to starts with 0 delays. Okay, and the excavation also, it doesn't depend on anything, so it's a starts with the start, not foundation pouring, no. So task information here is dependent on the X equation. Yes, so we can see now the start to finish relationship has been added to our timeline here. For that, we can start adding all the foundation in our project, for example, by selecting all the foundation. This should be added to our task. There is an error here. Yes, and this, it's about 2.5 meter cubic per hour, and it will take 7 days for the excavation. And for the foundation, it's not shown. We can select the object here. Yeah, so all of the objects here is selected, should be selected to our tasks as well. Okay, no worries. Now we'll come to the second part, which is panel erection, and we can add a new subtask of the start for panel erection. We can add this panel erection task information. This time the panel erection will be by pieces, so we will get it as an arc rigger, and this arc rigger is doing 15 pieces per 8 hours. This is all assumed, for example, and this is the contractor arc riggers, and the dependencies is the foundation itself, not the excavation. Foundation pouring, modify. Okay, so now the foundation pouring have got an error here. I don't know why. Add to tasks. Yeah, now it's added to tasks. Okay, it have got very low. Oh, we can add a part material equals to select from all, to select just the foundation here. The main problem is that it was selecting steel as well. Add to task. I think now, yes, that's good. Now selecting panel erection. Should be added to our task. Sorry, it should be added to our task here as an arc. add it to our task. You can select tasks. It's added to both tasks, so we can just remove these panels from the foundation task and re-tab again. That's it. Okay, good, perfect. This also should be removed from the task. Now press again. First select the task that you need to be added to, which is panel erection. And now select your panels. So add to selected tasks. Add to selected tasks. Each panel I'm adding it to my tasks, it have a direct reflection on my schedule. Okay. This all the panels, for example. We can check the schedule now. So now our schedule is saying that we have to do the excavation and the foundation, and the relation between them should be finished to start. This foundation should have the excavation finished to start. Excavation finish. Yes, excavation finish to start. Delays 0 days. Modify. That we have now the excavation and the foundation, and for the panel here it should be after the foundation pouring with a delay of 5 days for treatment. Modify. It will be calculated easily with a 5 days for the treatment, and so on the other of the slabs. For example, we can add here the slab as a pouring slab. For example, we can add a new task for the pouring slab, a new subtask from the start. Pouring slab. And we can add the task information here. This pouring slab by end slab, not grinding, sorry, pouring, and with end concrete. And dependencies, this should be after panel erection, finish to start, 0 days. Modify. We can just select the slab and add to the task and see how it's going on. It's now added automatic to our task manager. We can add even the slab grinding here. For example, we can add a new task after the start, under the start, which is slab grinding. and this could be task information by end concrete slab grinding, and the rates here of slab grinding can be 20 meters square per hour per 8 hour, and the contractor is end, and the dependencies should be depending on the slab itself. Pouring slab after, for example, 0 days, after 2 days or 5 days, for example, modify. So we'll have a leg here between the two tasks, and we can add the tasks here to, wait a moment. Yes. So we can have here the duration for each task in the project is added automatically from the model according to the data comes out from the model, and we can add the lag between the models, and we can get a chart. How we can make use of this with our project team to help our project team in his planning. Once we got the structure of the tasks here, we can just export this file as an XML file to the Microsoft project directly. In the other hand, we can import any XML or import a calendar, baseline, dates, whatever you need. You can just import an XML file as well to import the tasks to your model, and you can calculate the duration of each task by this model. Sorry if the video was a little bit long, but I hope it will have a good impact for your work as well. Thank you.